welcome to Dids Revisits, the series where I'll be taking a look at games both good and bad, old and new, and determining why the good games were great and what the bad games could have done to be better games. Today I'm going to be looking at Penn & Teller's Smoke and Mirrors. Smoke and Mirrors was a game developed by the company Absolute in 1995. This game was never published due to the falling out of Absolute during production. It was a game consisting of 6 mini-games designed to deviate from the norm that was the video game industry at the time. This was a time where the industry was under major scrutiny about violence, and it was also the beginning of the ESRB rating system, which was formed in 1994 in reaction to games such as Mortal Kombat and Night Trap. At the beginning of each game, Penn & Teller will give a mini-skit explaining the game and its purpose in relation to how it deviates from the gaming norm, or a full-motion video animation will play introducing the game. For the sake of this video, I will be doing the Desert Bus portion of Smoke and Mirrors, the game that's about as close to reality as you'll ever come. Desert Bus is a game that allows you to simulate driving a bus from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas, Nevada in real time at a maximum speed of 45 miles an hour, the only company you have being a rotating air freshener. This feat requires 8 hours of continuous gameplay to complete, since the game cannot be paused because of how realistic they wanted to make the game. Each way grants you 1 point, 99 is the maximum, which means if you want to max out the score, you will need to play for over 33 straight days. And if at any point you stop playing or drift to the right because the game slowly levitates you to the right, you will be towed back in real time. So at this point you might be asking yourselves, how am I going to bash this game? Well, that's where you're wrong. I actually find this game quite remarkable. Granted, it isn't a game I pick up on the regular, and there's no replay value, but as a game for the first time, it holds up quite well. This is a game that everybody should try at least once, and since you have to always keep one hand on the controller, it's realistic to driving because you can't text or do any usual secondary gaming tasks. An interesting fact about this game also is that there's a group of people who play Desert Bus for charity, named Desert Bus for Hope, and they've raised over $500,000 for the Child's Play Foundation. Normally there would be a lot more analyzing as to what the game has done right and wrong, but since there's little substance to the game, and most of it is based on background history, there isn't much to say about this. Granted, it isn't a game that can play itself, unfortunately, so that's one thing it did wrong. This isn't like Pokemon training in the daycare where you can just hold the up button or clamp something to your control pad to basically play the game for itself. And it does play very smooth, there are no graphical glitches, and sometimes a fly hits your windshield, so that is pretty neat. The games I'm showing on this series will be given 3 ratings. The rating I would give it at the day it came out, the rating I would give it if it came out today, and a 3rd rating for how I feel about the games overall. Desert Bus, the day it came out, I would give it a 7 out of 10. The graphics aren't up to par, despite Sega CD's technological advances at the time, but it's not up to par to what else was being released at the same time. There's also really no gameplay value and things to that nature, but I feel as if Penn & Teller's personalities came through with this game, and with all the controversy that was going on at the time with video games and how they were perceived by the media, I feel as if this really kind of was a really good jab, and it really pulled the points across perfectly to what they were going for. If I were to rate it, if it came out today, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Again, there's little to no gameplay, and there's no replay value, but that's exactly what they were going for. The amount of charities that this game has done, the amount of money this has raised, it can flourish in the right hands, as you see with indie games and games similar to that nature. So I think that despite all those and the bad gameplay, it's not necessarily a game that should be bashed by any means, because it has done great things within the gaming community. And if I were to give it an overall rating, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. As previously mentioned, no gameplay, no replay, but I still feel as if it's done great things, and it's not necessarily a bad game because it is exactly what they wanted it to be. So there you have it, Desert Bus. Thanks for watching my take on a classic. If you enjoyed the video, please share it with a like, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button to get notified when I release something new. What you see on the screen is my TMI Take video where I answered 50 questions about myself to help break the ice. My links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr are also in the description below, so go check them out and have a wonderful day.